What up, what up, what up? What's going on, everybody? This is Translation Powered by Translation Media. I am your host, Nick Beam, chilling with my co-host.
It's Mr. C. Blair in the building. That's my IG name. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all today. We switching it up. Man, I got a special guest in the building, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got a dear friend of mine, man. Is a good fella, a good brother here in the Las Vegas area. He is a real estate guru. He is a guru as well, but at the same time, man, this guy is one funny man right here, dude. So, but I want to introduce you to my friend, man, Steve Philostin. How you doing, brother?
Steve.
Bless. Thanks for having me.
Steve in the building.
The guru, you got to patent that.
Nah, somebody else already got it.
Damn. First time I heard that. I like that, though.
Somebody on IG already got it.
Might have to fight for it.
Steve, man, thanks for stopping through, man. How you doing today?
No, just one day at a time.
Monday at a time?
Yeah, doing deals and, taking care of my daughter and start making trips. What was it? Last one, L.A.
Okay.
One before that, New York.
Okay.
Miami. And, we're just going to keep it going.
You trying to keep pace with me on this traveling stuff, man. We're going to run some races around you. Don't test me. Don't test me. So, Steve, man, tell the people a little bit about you, yourself, how you got to be doing what you're doing and how we can figure out ways to send you people and send you some business because, you know me, I'm all about collaboration. I'm all about working together. I'm all about teamwork. That's the reason why Nick is here. Nick co-signs the sentiments and everything else like that. But tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got into what you were doing.
Oof, loaded question. Well, my name is Steve Philostin for all of you out there. I'm 42 years old. I started off.
Hold on, Steve. This is not the red balloon. Ain't no red balloon popping out here. Don't tell these people how old you are. We ain't aging ourselves on here, bro. No, I'm just
All right. Well, so let me say this. So I'm a real estate investor.
For sure.
I've been investing in real estate for the past 18 plus years. Many years ago, I was in college and I was a broke college student trying to figure it out, couch surfing. And one of my buddies ended up coming home that weekend. He let me sleep on his couch and he gave me the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I'm looking at him like, what's this? He's like, if you're going to stay here on this couch, you're going to be reading. I'm like, okay, I hear you. I got the book, read the book. Long story short, that changed everything for me. Robert Kiyosaki talked about this strategy called wholesaling, and me at the time being broke, not having a car or a stable place to stay. I just ran with it, and that pretty much opened up the whole world for me. And I was able to, use that strategy and, travel all over the world, drive the car of my dream, get the house of my dream. My daughter's in the top private school right now. And, that's kind of my story, the gist.
Man, let me tell everybody out there this, man. It's no problem going broke. It's no problem starting over. It's no problem sleeping on somebody's couch. Don't let nobody tell you or dish you for the struggles and the ups and downs that you got to go through in life, man.
Facts.
It's ebbs and flows. There's nothing ever going to be perfect in this journey of life. But as long as you stay prayed up and keep God on your side, man, you're going to be able to bounce back.
Absolutely.
It takes a mental fortitude. It takes some strength. And it takes some support from some people that may not be your family or your friends. It may be a total stranger that may help you on that bounce back. But at the same time, if you take that in consideration, there's always going to be a time and place for you to be able to bounce back and make your resurgence. It's a lot of success stories of people sleeping on couches. It's a lot of success stories about people sleeping in cars. It's a lot of success stories about people being negative in their bank account and being able to make that journey back out of that abyss. But as deep as you dug low, as high as you're going to go, man, as long as you just take some mental fortitude.
Okay. All right, Kurt. I love it. It's true, though. It's true because, again, I think if for people that have been following us since we've started this show and this platform, everybody on social media is showing all of the glitz and glamour, but they're not talking enough about the process, And first of all, off the cuff, I commend you for coming on and letting us know what it is because it speaks exactly, it pretty much validates what we already been talking about. Like it's this process. So you expressing, how you had to go through all this, from the transition from then to now is super important. So I want to give you flowers straight off the bat,
Thank you.
Before we even jump into your story. Because that right there sets the bar for everybody watching and listening.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to be transparent and vulnerable and translate your story to everybody else in here. So, and with that being said, with translation, tell us a little bit about, your real estate journey and how you really, like you said, you started getting into real estate, but there's a lot that goes in about what you do in real estate.
Definitely, yeah.
Can you get some free game out there for the people, man? Can we get some free game?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, well, for the ones looking to get started, we'll get into that in a second. But
Okay.
my journey is, I went to school to become a minister.
Okay.
And upon going to school for ministry, you learn really, really quick that, it gets real, and you got a lot of people in the church there for different reasons. And you believe in God and
prosperity preachers.
Yeah, they got the prosperity message. Yeah, that's who.
Got the peer preachers. Let's start with a lot of P's out here.
Yeah, but when I was out there, because I was down in Alabama.
Okay.
In the Bible Belt. And being in the Bible Belt, coming from a city like Vegas, going out there to Alabama, it's night and day. So even going to the cafeteria, getting something to eat, and having to, go from having a car in Vegas, not having a car out there, and being in a small town at the time, it was tough. But it builds character too. And when you get that character built up, and you learn really quick to where if you really believe what you say you believe in, and I'm talking about, I was out there at a bus stop late Friday night. It's raining, church getting out. Everybody's saying, we're going to keep you in prayer. And you see me out there standing at the bus stop. Why ain't hitting me?
Yeah.
And then at that moment, I'm thinking like, was that sermon good inside we was just hearing?
Right.
Like, offer me a can of beans or something like that.
Right.
That wasn't for them, though. That wasn't for them.
No.
That message was for... That's what people say. That message wasn't for me today. That message is for me.
Right.
Come on.
So,
church people go.
But I needed to go through that because it made me into who I am today. But it just... The journey has been quite interesting at the point to where I met a lot of people that I wouldn't have met on my successful journey of real estate. I met one gentleman here, a Caucasian guy, at the auction, Footsteps at Huntsville courtroom, and he owned over 1,000 properties out there. And he would just, feed me information, little nuggets of wisdom, then I would take that and I would run with it. And, going back to school at Oakwood University, I would just pretty much, I had a plan from Monday through Saturday. On Mondays, I would go to the free pantry. They'd get food out at the church. On Tuesday, I would go in front of Walmart and I would panhandle. And then on Wednesday, they would have Vespers or, a Wednesday night AYS for all the kids and the teenagers. And I'd go to that. And then on Thursday, there was a recreational center. They would open it up for the community. They would pass out like celery sticks and free chicken wings. So I was living off of them. And then on Fridays, they would have a little event. All the kids would get together. They would shut down the whole university, and we would all go to praise and worship. And then we roll around on Saturday. They would have a potluck. And at potluck, you could stop by somebody's house, get something to eat.
Right.
And everybody was kind of cool, The good thing is it was in a small college town. It was by Alabama A&M. That was one of the schools. Then you have Drake University. Then you have Oakwood, that's the one I went to. And then last but not least, you have a UAH, University of Huntsville.
Okay.
And, everybody out there typically is either going to be a nursing major or an engineer or a minister.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Going out there for ministry, everybody want to preach at you. Everywhere you go, somebody preaching. I'm like, man, stop preaching, bro. I want to hear this go more. But yeah, that's a little bit about, Huntsville, but overall, no complaints, though.
Did you end up ministering in the church? Did you end up being in one of those positions? Was you a deacon, or was you? Did you collect the pastor the collecting plate, or was you over the building fund? Which one was it?
I didn't actually go and minister in the church, but I would speak on a radio station here.
Okay, gotcha.
They would have me go on a radio station, and I was talking to people. And upon talking to people on the radio station, it was eye-opening because, people would, know who I am, and I had no idea who they were. And even on Fridays, we would have this thing to where we would go out to, it was like a detention center for kids that are getting into a lot of trouble.
Right.
We would go in there every Fridays, and we'd hang out with them for about 2 hours, and we'd just minister. So I did that consistently for a couple of years, and that was very touching because a lot of these kids, it's if they don't get it together at that moment, then they're going up to the pen, Because after 18 hits, you an adult. You got to figure this out by then or never.
Yeah, especially down there.
But oh yeah. And then the POs, they didn't really play with the kids. They would let them know just your mom didn't tell you or your dad didn't tell you, but we gonna let you know what it is. And then so me going up in there, I was just like, okay, this is my opportunity to shine my light.
Yep.
And so I latched onto that program because that's what I had. you know, because being homeless and in school, juggling your way through this whole madness.
Oh yeah,
it was, you know, that was like light for me.
yeah.
You know,
Reality.
Now I was really big into the church when I was growing up. I was a Catholic, so I was an altar boy. So I used to be up there.
You see that?
You can see that.
I was just flexing with you. I can see that.
Nah, the Catholic,
short-lived.
the Catholic church.
No.
I mean, it's funny. You got the shortest church. It's the shortest mass that you can go to or ministry.
That's what Catholic church is the best church to go to.
Man, you be in and after that sucking 35 minutes, 35, 45 minutes. But
in the 15 minutes.
Yeah, so that there, you know, 15 minutes early. Yeah, so, but like when I was in there, I used to be on the altar. I used to carry the little. It felt like I was doing. It felt like I was doing a ritual, man. Because I got a red robe on. I mean, got the little hoodie.
I know I jumped down rabbit holes, so don't do that. We gotta leave that alone.
So I felt like I was doing a ritual, but you know, I'm walking down. I hate to ring the little bells and stuff like that. I mean, it's. When you go back and think about it, when you do your own rabbit hole research, man, it gets very
interesting,
eerie.
Oh yeah.
So for lack of a better word, but yeah, then you know I graduated into non-denominational and everything else like that. But man, everybody take your own journey with God. I say that.
Oh yeah, same with me. I mean, I wasn't the altar boy, but I got a chance to see both sides of the coin and just living life. And on my paternal side, my grandmother's side of the family, father's side of the family, my grandmother particularly heavily into church. So anytime spent with her, I'm in the church. But this is Pentecostal.
Okay.
And so we're in there for a long time. I'm ready to go. As soon as I get the door,
right.
You know, I'm questioning the Bible in Sunday school, but I spent a lot of time. We did New Year's, Easter Sunday, New Year's, Christmas. Like if I'm with her, we in church, and you know. But yeah, it was longer than Catholic. So when I got my taste of Catholic, I was like, oh, that's it. I'm looking at my watch like, oh yes, I could be Catholic. Just get the word in 15 minutes and be out. But Pentecostal, we was in there all day. You know, it was a full-time job schedule. You know, so
I had a short-lived journey.
Yeah, man. But so you're in school. And you're in ministry school.
Ministry, yeah.
So you're going through ministry school. Do you actually pursue into the career of ministry, or you immediately pivot to real estate afterward? Like, what's that timeline? Just for the people that's watching.
A great question. So when I was in school, I was struggling so bad to where when my man introduced me to the real estate investing, I looked into it. And upon looking into it and reading up on it, I would stay up at night watching these YouTube videos about people claiming that they was making money. And me, I'm starving.
Right.
I ain't got no money in my pockets at all. And I'm like, I got to figure something out quickly. So fast forward, I ended up going to, that's when I mentioned to you about the courtroom. I went to the courtroom footsteps and I was watching people bid on properties. I didn't know you could do that. I was watching people get these properties for pennies on the dollars at the courtroom footsteps, and they would claim that they would renovate them and resell the property. So upon going through that, moms ended up calling me up. She called me and said, why don't you come back home? I said, what am I going to do out there? She said, well, you homeless right now. Long story short, I took her up on the offer. I jumped on a flight, came back home. When I got back home, it took me 3 years to do one real estate deal.
Man, that's a lot of people don't know that journey though. That's huge.
And you doing
that? How many people have you helped and got into this journey and they haven't really closed nothing in the first 6 months and they gotten really discouraged? And that's what people don't understand about real estate. Like it's a glamorous business. You can make a lot of money in real estate. You can generate a lot of wealth, but it don't come overnight.
Oh yeah, 100%. So to answer that question, so just a recap, it took me 3 years to do one deal.
Wow.
After that 3 years, the next 3 years I did 500 deals. What I tell people is the difference is the sauce. You got the process. You know what you're supposed to be doing. Before, I would have people tell me what it needs to look like, but it wasn't actually hands-on training. So I'm over here, listening to radio, up late night on YouTube University. I'm going to free webinar workshops, and when it's time for them to charge you, I'm up out of there.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like, where you going, man? You gonna hang around? I said, I'm gonna get back to you in a second. Sit tight, man. I'll be back with you.
Let me get that debit card or credit card. I'll be right back.
So then at that point, I just said to myself, okay, I have enough information. Let me go do a deal. The one deal that I ended up closing, that very first one, I went to this guy's house. He called me and said, if you want to know about the property, come and check it out. Hung up the phone. I didn't even have a car. I lived right up the street from the property. I put on a little jogging suit and I went over there. And I said, that's kind of funny. When I got there, I knocked on the door. He said, where's your car? I said, well, I live right around the corner, so I just kind of jogged over. This is my normal routine. I had to have a little story for it.
Of course.
So I, made sure a little sweat coming out.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, he let me into the house. I got in the house and I looked around. We wrote up a contract. My hands were shaking at the time because I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. You
telling me on YouTube I'm going to make $10,000, $20,000 with this one document? I'm not even licensed or nothing like that, and I'm not breaking the law?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to believe that?
Bars.
I don't know.
And I'm hungry.
And I'm hungry. So we put together the contract. I signed. I'm handing him the pen. My hands are shaking. He said, you okay? He look at me. White dude, look at me. You okay?
Yeah. You told me I got to run back home.
So he signed the contract. When he signed the contract, I felt like it was real, even more real. Because it went from more of me watching it on YouTube to where now this is real life.
Real time, yeah.
Now I'm like, it's game time. What you gonna do? So I get on the phone. I'm calling title companies. A title company, what they do is they process all the documentation. The documentation that you need to get the deal closed. So it's like the seller has to give all the documents showing that they own the property.
Right.
The buyer has to give the documentation showing that he wants to buy the property.
Right.
The title company is the referee. They're the ones that make sure everybody's playing the game fair. If you get out of bounds, they're going to call a timeout. If you get penalized, they're going to call a timeout. They do all that. So once the title company had the seller's documents, I went out immediately. I posted up an ad on Craigslist. I posted up on Craigslist, and I ended up getting this Latin dude. He called me up. When he called me up, he said, is the property available? I said, yeah, it's available. So we scheduled a day and a time to where we went out to the property. It was like a Thursday or Friday or something like that. He came out to the property. He got out of his big truck. I'll never forget it. He pulled up. He had one of them big trucks with the big wheels and all that. And he had this big shiny belt buckle on him. Mexican dude, big shiny belt. He had the little, that they have the little curvy little hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at him. I know he got money. He looked like it. I'm like, yeah, you smell like it too.
Yeah.
So fast forward, he gets out of the truck. He walks into the property. He's looking around. And the whole time I'm just sitting back. My chest is beating because I'm like, Lord, please tell me you want this property. Please tell me you want it. And he comes up to me. He said, how much is the property? I said, $35,000. I remember I got my contract for $10,000. And he said, what title company? I said, Tycor Title. He said, okay, we'll take it. I said, you will? He said, yeah, we'll take it. I said, okay. So I took out my phone. I gave him the phone number to Tycor Title. He said, I'll give him a call in like 30 minutes. Me not knowing if he's really going to do it or not, a doubt started creeping in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, man, he didn't play with me. He came out, saw the property. Long story short, he called him up and the deal, it was a wrap, brother. We closed.
Ooh, wee.
$25,000 later.
Wee.
It's life changer.
Oh my God, man. I ended up,
Yeah, how was like? Give us a brief moment of the celebratory. Yeah, like you don't got to go in full detail, but let us know how that moment felt.
You shed a couple tears, bro. What's up?
Yeah, are we still running? The camera running?
I was like, get choked up again right now, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
But no, real note. I ended up going to get. I went to a liquor store. I got 2 bottles, and man, I was just chugging them all night, brother.
That fool with the sapphire.
I couldn't.
Hey, Vegas food.
That much money in my life, man.
Yeah.
It was all. It was there. I'm like, okay, like we can do this.
Yeah.
Like, mama, we got a way out.
What'd your mom say when you bought that check back home?
What I did with her was I ended up I went to the bank and I took $5,000 out in cash, and then I took it home because my mom was a maid at the Flamingo Hotel at the time. So she working really, really hard for housekeeping. And when she came home that night, I spread $5,000 on the kitchen table, and mama came in. She's like, what did you do? What did you do? I said, Mom, it works. She said, works. I said, this real estate work. Like, look.
Pablo came through.
She like, woo, I thought you did something else.
Yeah, Pablo.
Real estate. Oh, yeah.
Came through.
But she was just kind of like, I know he's been reading up on it, but like, I don't know if it's actually going to work, but it's my son. I support him. Mom's going to, always encourage you, in the back of her mind, she might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when she saw the money, she knew it was legit. Yeah. And then at that point, I ended up going out and I became a machine, brother.
Yeah.
You
Blood
can
and
tell
water.
me. Oh, my goodness, man. I'm talking about, I did literally all them deals within those 3 years.
That's
literally
crazy. 500?
500 deals. It took me in 3 years to do one deal. And the next 3 years, I did 500 deals.
Domino fall.
Yeah, because when you know what you got to do and how you got to do it, you move very strategic. That's how I came up with the course, The Art of Strategic Wholesaling.
Is that still available?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's all strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see people, they guessing, professionals don't guess, amateurs do.
Okay.
I'm going to say it again. Professionals don't guess. Only amateurs do. When you understand that, you move on purpose and with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go out there and get a deal. My last coach apply, and I'm working with him right now, he ended up doing a deal in 23 days, $25,000. And he has 3 under contract right now. 3 under contract right now. I've never met the brother in my life. I went out to a speaking engagement, met the brother. He came up to me. We talked 23 days, cashed out. And he has a wedding coming up in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I just tell people, I want to be the symbol of hope, a possibility. It don't take a lot of money, too. It just take go-getter mentality. You got to have that hustle in you. If you ain't got that hustle, you ain't going to make it.
Yep,
and I don't want to lie to you, you know. Is it easy? Yes. Is it hard? No. Is it easy? Yes. Is it technical? Even yes more. It's the technicality side of it that catches people up. That's what I tell people.
So what type of real estate are you doing? What is it? Give us a label.
Wholesaling.
Okay, you're a wholesaler.
Yeah.
So describe to us the difference between traditional real estate and wholesaling.
Great question.
Well, you know, because the thing is like, you bring up some really valid points. I think everybody, and I feel like there's a lot of people walking around every time I look up somebody's doing real estate. And I don't knock it because, you know, there's a bunch of DJs. If you're good at it or great at it, you're great at it. It doesn't matter how many people are doing it. But the other part of it is everybody thinks, well, a lot of people think the real estate is the same. It's all the same. It's all this big pool of real estate. And you can, how do you differentiate the two? Wholesaler versus traditional.
Great question. So I'm going to keep this very simple. When I meet people, when they approach me, I ask people, do you want to make money now or later? That's it. When they say I got to make money right now, I'm like, you need to wholesale real estate. When they say I got to make money later, we need to have a different conversation about a different strategy. Now, the conventional real estate is great. There's not one better than the other.
Okay.
But wholesaling primarily focuses on putting a motivated buyer with a motivated seller, getting both of them to sign a contract and take it to the title company, and we close in anywhere between 7 to 14 days, and you make cash. That's it.
You don't have to hold no assets.
You ain't got to hold no assets. You don't need a license, and you don't need money. You just have to have a go-getter mentality. Literally, I got a deal right now. We're set to close on, actually 2 of them on Friday. I'll be making on each deal $10,000 in less than, you ready for this? 14 days.
Oh, hell.
So just before Christmas, I'll be collecting a check for 20 grand.
There's some Jordans coming out, man. You got me?
Well, I might get...
Saturday is, we got 2 weeks. Like, look, like, hey.
Right.
Hey,
I'll let you.
You get 40, and if you want 20 grand, let me get 2.
Strategy. You got it. You don't complicate it.
Start counting people's pockets.
But I tell people conventional real estate is more, you know, you hire a realtor, you get approved for a loan, you go drive around, look at the houses, and you buy the homes. You can do it that way. The second way is hire the realtor, get approved for a loan, and it's more of a buy and hold strategy. You're investing for the long term. You're building a portfolio. What I tell people is when you come to a guy like me, if you want to build a portfolio, but you want to get a discounted property, then you come to me. I'm going to give you a discount on all the deals. Other people, if you go to an agent, you're probably making retail offers. Buying at retail is against my religion.
So you TJ Maxx out here, right?
One more time.
You're TJ Maxx out here, right?
100% Costco.
Hey, you feel?
Yeah,
there you go. Buy bulk and buy cheap. That's word. Man, that's a great story, man. That's a great thing. So what is something that people need to understand about when they come to you? You know, if they want to say, hey, Steve, like, I'm interested in your business. You know, what would make you say, hey, you know, I don't really want to work with you? Because you gotta have a.
it's really energy.
Yeah. Okay. The energy. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
If someone's not coachable, then no matter what you do or say to them, you can't work with that person. I mean, I tell people all the time, you could have the right idea but the wrong mindset,
right?
And it's a wrap. You know, like you have. I'm going to say this player's name. Former Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens was a really talented player. And Terrell Owens played with Donovan McNabb.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the Eagles, a winning team.
Mm-hmm.
And but the thing about T.O. was T.O. as a teammate had this mentality to where, and I don't know if it was deliberate or not deliberate. That's still debatable. We all have our own opinions. I get it. But it would make some people feel like, okay, we can't have him on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that being said, when somebody approaches me, if they have a servitude mindset and I just want to learn and they're hungry, I'll work with them. Because I do believe, and I'll add this before I let you jump in, I'm a firm believer that the Spirit will speak to you.
Mm.
I don't believe that everybody that comes to me are meant to be paid coaching clients. I'm going to say that again. Everybody that comes to you are not meant to be paid coaching clients. God will bring some people to you and assign them in your life.
For sure.
For a specific reason.
Man.
And they were there in my life to actually show me something about me.
That's valid.
And then so what I do is I bring them on board if I'm impressed by the Spirit and I work with that person.
Yeah.
And one of those people, it actually became one of my most successful coaching clients of all time. I'm going to say it again. My most successful coaching client. The man has done 78 deals with me.
Wow.
And counting. And he actually, I'm not going to say his name on this podcast, but he has a deal closing next week. He ended up getting a deal for, I don't know if I should say, he ended up getting a deal for, what was it, $110,000 in Vegas. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, about 2,200 square foot home. He got it for $110,000, and the buyer is buying it from him at $260,000. So he'll make he'll make $150,000 Sunday next week.
No, that's a great Christmas.
Before Curtis says something, as you were speaking, I was saying something. You were saying what it takes, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting about your story that I'm following is the ministry aspect of it, right? Because sometimes people think, all right, I'm going into this path. I'm called by God to do this exact assignment, right?
Right.
Because traditionally, if you're preaching the word of God, where do you go? To church.
Right.
But biblically speaking, they say, God or Jesus goes to where the darkness is, right? So it's like the point is not literally, but it's figuratively speaking, is you stepping out and you're able to use what you've learned and apply it. So I was throwing that faith under there. I was saying, and faith, because, again, you went at this on blind faith, right? You went from what it seems, it's like, okay, I'm hungry. You were attracted by this, and literally is the faith. So now you're using this faith and the calling of God to bring on partners, develop people into monsters in this business. And I'm following because you said the sauce. So I'm hearing some of the sauce. I'm hearing one of the ingredients, or several ingredients of it being the ministry, your hunger, and that faith. A lot of people in this business, this, and this growing up in this city, there's not a lot of faith-driven business. And I don't mean the faith in the aspect of, Christianity or religion. I mean it in the sense of really wanting to genuinely work with people and impact people and help each other's lives. That's something me and Curtis live by. So the fact that you're sitting across saying these things is resonating with me because you don't hear that. I've been in Vegas for going on 10 years, and I've flown under the radar intentionally because I've lived in cities like New York and LA, and I've got really incredible friends, family, support systems there. But those cities have a lot of smoke and mirrors, people that throw up smoke and mirrors. Vegas is the same. Miami too. These places that have tourism attractions and there's a lot of money flowing in, and it's really what can you do for me, mentality. So to hear you say that and your story matches up to how you're doing your business, to me, again, I'm gonna sing you another round of flowers, because that, to me, I feel like that faith element is what's also drawing you to elevate forward better than the average person that's in this business. It's the first time I haven't heard a person go through ministry and transition in real estate and is calling on faith and God's word to impact. You're changing people's lives. The two biggest banks, the two biggest institutions for money in the world is the bank and the church.
That's right.
So it's not like you're not changing people's lives. You're just doing it in a different way with the same calling from God.
Well, I'm so happy you said it that way. And first of all, thank you so much for saying those words. That's how I look at it when I go out there. When I'm working with somebody, I take it personal. My client that just did a deal, I told him when we got started up, I said, give me 45 days.
Mm.
And he made a deal happen in 23.
Mm.
And now he's saying he's getting to the point to where he has to choose between his job that has been paying him and going full time.
Mm.
Because he's looking at consistently making a bare minimum right now. He's easily going to hit $30,000.
Mm.
Easily. And the minimum he wants to set for himself is $100,000 a month. But that was also a faith on his part. He didn't know me and I didn't know him, but the Spirit spoke to him to say, I want to work with this man and I want this man to be my coach. So when people sign up with my program, I sit down with them. I take them through a 3-step process. Number 1 is called ready. Number 2 is called aim. Number 3 is called fire. Number 1, back to that, ready. Ready is a mindset. Sometimes I get people to come to me, they're hustlers, but they got the wrong mindset. And so we got a thinking problem. We got to rearrange your thoughts. Once we get your thoughts where they need to be, then we go to number 2. You ready for this? Aim. Aim is what your target is. What are you going after? You want a shiny new car? You want a house? You want to help grandma out? You want to travel? You want to go to Jamaica? You want to donate to a nonprofit? What does that look like? Once we know what that is and we put it on a vision board, I actually have people get vision boards and they break everything down. So when times get hard, I take that board right out. I'm like, bam, look at that board. Do you mean what you say? Do you really mean that? Do you really want that? They're like, I want that. It's a reminder. Then we go to number 3. Number 3 is fire. All action, no talking. We got to work. You got the right mindset. You got the target. Now let's work. That's what I do with people.
Mm. That's heavy.
Yeah.
Everybody paying attention because that's what we needed to hear. That no more. Well, we need to give them no more game.
That's why me and Steve work well together.
Yeah, no more game.
Because anybody know me, I'm no frills either. And Steve gets right to it. He talks to your soul. He speaks to you with charisma and energy, and it's coming from a love place. And so, I mean, that's the same thing with me. Sometimes people call me an asshole. I really don't be caring, but because I'm really direct. I'll talk to you where you need to be taught. Because I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. Because I don't like to beat around the bush. I like to get from point A to point B. So let's get all the fluff out of the way and get straight to it. Like it's pretty much black and white to me. Whether you want to do this or do it or not. And if you're trying to figure out every way excuses to talk yourself out of it, or to figure out a way to not do it, or make an excuse why you couldn't get up and get it done today, I mean that's on you. And I'm not going to continue to hold your hand in that aspect. And as people and people shouldn't, but the thing about it is, I give people second, third chances because why? We're all human. And so we all, like I said, where you started off at, you were a human being that was yearning for direction. But God called you back and gave you direction. I was in a standpoint where I didn't know where I was going to go after I retired from being a financial advisor. But the entrepreneur in me and the guidance and just sitting still sometimes just allowed me to get those words to creep into my head to be like, this is where this is the direction you need to go. And so, like, I mean, that's why I love being around you. You continue to help people. Yes, he does cost. He's not free. So you got to understand that. But at the same time, you might be the next one that may creep into the guy's plan and hit you with a pro bono case. But that being said, Steve has some other ventures that he has going on right now too as well. This man is, like he said, he's well traveled and well versed. So he's also been in New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on in your second venture in your life.
Well, I mean, you pretty much jumped out there. Something. Yeah, so I'm a fashion designer too. I'm really, really big into fashion, and I tell people right now, when you walk into a room, you've already spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Involuntarily, you've already talked to her. Either you go in there, your pants is sagging, we have a perception about you already.
Yeah.
You got a jersey on, we got a perception about you already. So when you look at the world from that perspective, you start to move on and with purpose intentionally. And so fashion is a nonverbal communication amongst your peers. And so I jumped into the fashion industry many years ago. My mother used to always get dressed up when I was younger. And I would watch her put her little outfit on, and, she would put the accessories on with her. And I would always say to myself, it could be done that way, do it this way. And I would just kind of like play with little ideas in my mind. So I was in my craft in real estate investing, helping somebody save their property out of foreclosure. And she was looking at me every time I would show up, how I was dressed. And she said, I got somebody I want you to meet. I said, well, okay, let's sign this contract before we do that.
Yeah,
I want to get to this bag.
Get me right. Yeah, get me right.
So she introduced me to this person. He's been in the fashion industry for the past 45 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he slows me down from talking, sat me down, because my mind was racing. I want to get to the next deal. So he said, so what's your name? I told him my name. Fast forward, we got into a conversation, and he said, if you want to take this seriously, this is what it needs to look like. And I'm like, okay. So me, I'm like, I'm one of them people. This is what I do. When I put my mind on something, let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't let money stop me. I don't let experience stop me. I'm like, if the Nets man could do it, I can do it.
Right.
But there ain't nothing that you could do that I can't do.
Right.
That's my mentality.
So be light skinned.
So, yeah.
So fast forward. I'm gonna get you for that one.
So, we sat down. We came up with a plan. He broke everything down for me, showed me what it looks like, and I jumped right into it. Ended up going out. I did 2 real estate deals. I took the deal's profit and I transitioned it over to launch my fashion brand. And then, I ended up getting a logo. I ended up getting a bank account. I ended up patent, copyright, trademark, all of the intellectual property. I nailed it all down. I contacted my lawyer. We've been going back and forth, and I ended up going to Chase, and I made sure I checked them with them about certain things. And fast forward after that, I ended up hiring a creative director, a project manager, ended up getting a locally based manufacturer I partnered up with. I even have a military police officer on my team right now, and a UNLV professor on my team right now. I mean, all of the intellectual ways of positioning yourself, I did all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward, there was a fashion show coming up, and they had invited me out to LA Fashion Week, and then I accepted the invitation, and at the last minute, I backed out. I said, we're not ready. We weren't ready. And then so what happened was there was another fashion show in Miami that came up, and I flew out there. I was going to put my brand out there in the front row, but I said, no, we're not ready. But I ended up going to the fashion show, and I sat on the front row. And I was just kind of like soaking everything in, because I'm like, okay, I'm a very strategic guy. I want to move with strategy in the industry. And then I'm looking like people are like Pharrell, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at people like, Virgil or R.I.P.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing how Virgil, he got his little cell phone. He's jumping on flights. He ain't catching feeling. He catching flights, going to Paris of the world and London and down to Tokyo, hanging out with them folks. And so then L.A. called me back up again. They said, we got another show coming up. What we going to do? So I was just sitting there and with my team, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, okay, we're going to really do this. And so I took a deep breath, and then I said, it's on. And then everybody, they got excited. We showed up to a meeting. When we showed up to that meeting, it's like a table like this. We all sitting down and documents all over the place. And we got models coming in, showing us outfits. They doing a little spin. And I'm like, I don't like the shoes, man. Take them off. And I don't like her attitude. She got to go too. And they like, man, what's wrong with this dude? You ain't even got started. Yeah,
Right.
you know, you on the floor.
Yeah.
But
today I am.
Yeah. But so we picked 8 outfits. And we hit the runway. LA time came up, and then we got out there.
Nice.
We did LA, we did New York. We got Paris coming up in March. We've got a pop-up, we got a show coming up in Vegas for Magic Weekend as well. We'll be out here in Magic, yeah.
Interesting.
We got another show coming up, and we'll be in Milan, Italy. We'll also be in London. We'll be in Tokyo. We'll be in London. No, not London, but back to New York again. We here, So my thing is, I built a team in the fashion world that has nothing to do with real estate.
Of course.
All of my teams are separate, but all of this happened from real estate investing and wholesaling. And so I sit people down. You can come up with like 5 different entities, and we talk about each entity and what's the basis of them getting funded through a wholesale deal. Once we know your basic, you get one VA, a virtual assistant in the Philippines. You give them tasks, and they run each organization administrative-wise. And as they're running that organization, you're out wholesaling, finding these deals to completely fund every department in your other entities. And then you want to get in a position where you're building business credit. So when your business funding kicks in, it takes a little bit of pressure off wholesaling to where now you got 2 sources running for you instead of 1. But it all starts from wholesaling. And that's all that I did. And I could be vulnerable with you guys on this podcast and tell you this. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. And I make sure I'm always not the smartest guy. But the one thing that I do really well is I would go and wholesale one real estate deal and go and hire somebody 10 times smarter than me and bring them on my team. And I let them run that department. I don't micromanage. I get out of the way. Because people used to always tell me, Steve, you're not this. Steve, you're not that. You're not good at doing this. You can't do that. And I'm like, thank God. But everything you're telling me I'm not good at, I don't get bad about it. I just write it down and I go hire somebody that can do it.
Yeah.
And then I put the face right on the banner of the company and I go out there and I'm just sitting there like, just, okay, we do this. This is what we do.
Right.
But I'll tell you what I am good at doing, wholesaling real estate. If you double down on your gift that God gave you and understand what you're not good at doing, because he gave somebody else that gift. And the way you got to look at it is, I got to go find the person that has that gift that God gave them to pay them for their time and put them in position so they can win. And when you start operating like that, then you'll win by default. So my whole fashion team, I created jobs for these people. They pay their mortgage. Their kids are in private schools because of me. So now I'm looking at myself as a vertical integration individual. I'm creating economies around what I do. So the gift that God gave me, I'm still using that, and it's still ministry.
Oh, yeah.
This is just my tabernacle. That's her operate with it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you said that earlier, you touched me. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to pass you back your flowers.
I appreciate you, man. I'm very much locked in. I caught it. As soon as you start saying it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I see where this is. Like, and again, I'll double back on it. And again, because when we have these gifts, it isn't always this straight and narrow path, or it has to be this way.
Right.
You just, like they say, you got to let go and let God, and God will take you through whatever journey he needs to take you through. I don't really like to use gender with God. I think that's limiting what God is. But when it's creating a higher power guides you through your journey, you have to let go and let God do it. So hearing you talk about your journey and where it led you and how, like you said, you're helping people. You're essentially, like you said, the tabernacle. It's your house, and you're creating opportunities and you're impacting people's lives without actually having to do it in the church. Because the Bible also says the body is the temple. So, if you maintain in the temple and you utilizing your talents within the temple, you are going to help others
for sure
by doing that, to allowing people to flourish. So, yeah, that's incredible, man. Like I said, I'm gonna continue to give you yours, man, because you're doing it. Now, I do have a question. What's the name of the brand?
Well, the S Philostin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Philostin.
Yeah. Luxury men and women sportswear.
Men and women luxury men. That's important.
Yeah.
Luxury men and women sportswear. I'm actually super excited about the men's sportswear side of it, luxury sportswear, because we see like the brands like Fabletics and all these different where they have that leisure. You can it feels comfortable. You can go to the golf course and you can go to a business meeting. And oftentimes he knows I'm into fashion too. One thing I would do is I'd go in Target and I would look at the women's section and I would see all of this stuff the women have. It's like all this stuff, like, all right, they can mix and match all kind of things. And I look over in the men's section. I'm like, man, it's bland over here.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for me, like even the way I carry myself and dress, I always have tried to put together what feels comfortable, what's presentable, but what feels comfortable for me that kind of touches on the borderline of both. So I would grab pieces from different brands, and that's really, I got that from my mom. My mom was big on it, and I remember her telling me, like, getting to college, she was like, you need about, probably 3 or 4 pair of pants, jeans with no logos on them, and then you could just rotate all these shirts. You don't want to be a walking billboard. Now, granted, I didn't always listen to that. We used to wear, all of the name brands and stuff like that, but eventually it stuck, and I'm like, all right, cool. I like more simplistic looks, and I can mix and match, and in fashion it's subjective. It's not about being a billboard. It's what you can put together that accents you and your personality. So I'm looking forward to seeing this fashion show. I have some ideas if we could be of a support and collaboration with the fashion show, if there's opportunity for that. I would love,
100%.
because again, one thing I don't want to give too much. I don't want to give anybody any ideas about this particular. Actually, I'm going to save it. I'm going to talk to you about it directly off camera, and I'm going to leave it because if we put it up, somebody can see them like, yeah,
Right.
them brothers on to something. And then next thing you know,
Yeah.
they'll try to do it. And again, what's for you is for you. So regardless of what they do, it's still not going to be the sauce that we can potentially have, bring to the table. But I get excited about conversations like this because I'm a creative. And I've journeyed between the left and the right brain working in corporate America and in the creative space. So hearing you translate all of the tools and skill sets within real estate and ministry into the fashion world, I can only imagine where this is going to go. And so I'm interested to see this ride. You know, I'm looking for the box office to get the ticket. You know what I mean? Because that to me, and Vegas needs that. Vegas needs whatever. Everything and anything that you're going to bring, because there's a big transition happening, and I've seen it, and I've been watching it. That's why I've flown under the radar intentionally until now, and I see where Vegas can go, and it's a lot different than what Vegas was. And to hear you say that you're doing all these things, I can see why I feel that way, because now I've had a conversation with someone that is actually a doer, a guru. We're gonna take that. Doer,
gone.
Yeah, it's gone. We don't get it. We gonna get it.
We got second season as a patent on that joint. Though.
Yeah, for real,
It's copyrighted.
But yeah, you're a guru, so I look forward to seeing
that part, by the way.
Yeah.
Nope. Better hurry up and get your shit together, bro.
But I'll see where this can go, man. I'm excited for you.
No, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You know, something else I would add to. I tell people there's a difference between style, fashion, and swag.
I got swag out of this world.
Break it down.
Now, fashion is what's the hottest thing right now. It's the name of a brand. Style is something that you just put something on together. You just kind of go. It makes sense for you at that specific moment. Swag is your drip. Drip is something that can't be manufactured in a factory. It's the way you put it on, the way you own it, the way you wear it. When you step out there, people look at you like that's it. When you think about it like that, you're very intentional. From the little accessory, that watch that you put on, instead of the left on the right side, that was intentional. That hat, you ended up getting that little logo put on the backside of that hat, and it got that date on that. That's Big Mama birthday. That's drip. They're like, okay, what is that? I'm like, well, I'll get back with you in a second. That's how you got to move.
I love it.
So our brand, it's wear what matters. The reason why is we support a nonprofit organization. Every time you buy some of the fashion items from us, we make a donation to the nonprofit. What does the nonprofit do? It supports affordable housing to single mothers, military veterans, homeless working population, and former inmates. With affordable housing options in the form of renting a room or a house or a tiny home. All three. That's what it's about.
That's crazy.
You are wearing something that actually matters.
That's awesome,
it's
bro.
making a social impact, not locally, but globally. We have shows and we have satellite camps over in Colombia right now. That's what we go to Cartagena for, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. We have an orphanage out there. We sponsor 37 school children in Cartagena. That's why we're on them flights. We were going to go down to Haiti. Haiti had a little situation. It's a little too much right down in Haiti.
Oh, for sure.
We want our hearts are out there.
Yeah.
But they're telling us, and this ain't the time. Trust me.
Right now.
You might get in, but you might not be getting out.
Yep.
So everything that we do has to be intentional. I believe that we are all living here on borrowed time.
Oh, for sure.
You know, when you're on this planet, you have we all have an expiration date. So before your date hits, what are you going to do with your time?
What I
And
tell
when
you,
you start to understand that, you move with intention.
what I say, Nick? Push the button, dog. We only got 85, 90 years.
Yep.
What I say all the time.
Healthy.
If you're healthy, that's what I said. You only got 85, 90 years. I said, push the button. He be like, man, I'm like, no.
Right.
We don't go.
Hey, but you know how I go with that.
You got to maintain.
No, you definitely got to maintain. You got to eat right. You gym. Stay away from them crazy hoes.
Right.
Leave them hoes alone, Jesse.
That's cost me 3 deals. I'm telling you, man.
But
Can I be candid on this podcast?
damn right, you can be candid, bro.
So I had. Man,
Shoot, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Go ahead.
We had a guest previously on here. He said, "Man, entrepreneurship cost me my marriage." So whatever you want to be candid about, brother, is you have the floor.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get into it. My bad, big dog. I was doing so many deals that the so-called experts and professionals were looking at me like, is this really happening right now? I'm talking about industry leaders. So there was a person that approached me, and she, oh my God, she approached me. You know, I'm single, doing my thing. I'm knocking out deal after deal after deal. It got to the point to where when she came up to me, she befriended me, and she stayed patient for 2 years. And then she finally we got in a relationship together. I'm not gonna say she got to it, but we together. And
She pulled you, huh?
yeah, well, bless her heart. She's in real estate right now till this day.
She was on the chase because
Till this day. Her first deal with me, she made 40 racks.
Okay.
40 racks. Literally.
You ain't had to trick on her, did you?
No.
You ain't had to take her to the restaurant. You ain't had to buy her a bag. She bought her own bag, and you taught her that, didn't you?
Yeah, so she did that with
That's game right there, Nick.
one of the deals she did play. So bless her heart, man. She's an agent today. We ended up doing that together. I would probably say about 45 deals. And she good people. Just the main thing that I want to tell the brothers is just be mindful. Stay locked in, because remember when Will Smith went up there and put his hands on what was my man?
Chris Rock.
Remember that? That evening before he did that, he said Denzel came to him, and Denzel said to him, I don't know if y'all know this. You probably might know this.
I think I heard the story.
Denzel said to him, at your highest moment, that's when he will come.
Yeah.
Let's back up.
Yep.
I'm gonna switch up the word. At your greatest moment, that's when he will come.
Mm-hmm.
Will is thinking like, who is he? Like whoever you want to call it the devil, call it your imaginary friend, call it the enemy inside of you, whatever that is. Let's just label that. Will Smith was at his peak, and for him to do that, he said as soon as he hit that man, the only person that he could think about was who? Denzel. Because Denzel told this man. He told him that night. And he put his hands on that man. And this man's in tears crying. And he's like, man, I appreciate you, Denzel. And Denzel sitting down there. Then I think the camera went on Denzel.
Yep.
Denzel was kind of like, just shaking his head like, we did talk about that. We talked about that.
Denzel saying, damn, I ain't know what's going to happen today.
Right. And watch this. I talk to all of my coaching clients the same way. Because like me sitting down with you, helping you make money in real estate, I could do that. I could sleep and do that. That's nothing. Give me 30 days with you. Give me 30 days with you. We're going to crack off 30 grand. That's what I do. My client, and I don't know if we can get it on a big screen, but anyhow.
Talk to that camera right there.
He said, oh yeah. Brian, if you're seeing this, man, call into the show, man. I want you to tell your story. I want you to tell them your story. I don't want it to come from my mouth. I want it to come from your mouth. Did you know me? Where did we meet? How much hit your bank account? What are your plans for your marriage with you and your wife, your soon-to-be bride? I met this brother. Thank you, Brian. I met this brother. The little brother came up to me. He said, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. We put that plan in place, and that man went out and got it done. Now, the Denzel portion of it, I sat down with the man, and I told him, I said, listen, now you got the formula. You got the antidote. You can do anything you want to do. He said, brother, you just gave me a way out. I said, you gave yourself a way out. All I did was put information in front of you, but you took action. You are wise enough to recognize what an opportunity looks like, and you took advantage of that opportunity. That's why you're in the position you're in today.
Let's go.
And now this man is moving.
Let's go.
And that's it. So I'm the kind of person, I just give the credit back to where the credit is due. I let all of us know we all have that it factor in us. Kobe Bryant talked about the Mamba mentality, Mamba spirit. He said something happens when he gets that ball in the fourth quarter. Jordan talked about it. Yep. Steph Curry talked about it. LeBron talked about it. Tiger Woods talked about it. Something happens to people when you're in that fourth quarter. It's like you just black out. By the time you wake up, the crowd's cheering. You're like, what everybody cheering about? They hit the replay. You hitting that shot. You like, I don't remember some of that, like that, because you was in Mamba mentality. That's what I tell people as a coach. It's my job to be that Phil Jackson in your life, and I call a timeout, and I call you on the sideline. I take out that clipboard. We run over the play. And I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't always going to like me. But then I take out that vision board, and I remind you what you said. You wanted to buy a Big Mama house. How you want to buy a big mama house, but you over here complaining about the seller didn't chewed you out? Yeah, he chewed you out, but did he sign a contract? Yeah. So what you mad about? You could take out a couple of beat downs over a contract you about to make 40 grand out of?
Take the E out of emotion. What you got?
Let's move it.
You got that motion.
It don't mean nothing about nothing.
At all.
You know, so as a coach, I go over this all the time with people. And when I say we get down and dirty, I'm rolling up my sleeves and I'm calling you. It'll be 11:45 at night, and I'm going over the contract with you. Did they do this? Did they put up the EMD? Did they do the walkthrough inspection? Did they send you the report? Did your buyer confirm that he's good to go, set for that closing date? Did he wire everything else over to you? Well, he ain't do this and do that. Why not? Then I'm getting on you. I'm going to share this story, and I'll let you take it over. I had this guy, big husky white boy from Nebraska. He kept giving me energy. He was a tough client to deal with. But this man, do you not know when he closed his deal? He came up to me to hug me. He came up to me to hug me, and I pushed him back. I said, back up. Get your hands off me. Yeah. Now you love me? I tell people, keep the same energy that you had towards me right here before the check shows up. Keep that same energy when the check shows up. Because I'm real. I am who I am.
Damn, see,
you go on public records.
He can't give you a hug.
Check it.
He can't give you a hug. Happy hug.
We're going to get a hug.
You still keep that energy, though. Don't switch it up now. You should have had your faith in the beginning. I get what you're saying.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
Grown husky dude. You got to see him. He crying, and he's like, man, and then his wife, he can come over the house anytime. But before, it was kind of suspicious looking at me. But I'm just so passionate about making sure you get your deal. Because when you get that deal and that money hits your bank account, something happens to you, brother. You like, man, bro, like, you see this? I can do it. And I'm out here working with all these people, brother, and I love it because it's my ministry. This is what I do. And I love looking at them for the rookies. When I look at the rookies in their eyes, oh, man, they the best. They the best ones. They don't know if it's real or not. I'm like, oh, my God, this going to be good. This going to be good. This going to be good. Then the check shows up. But ultimately, I want to say this to you guys, man. Thank you for having me on this podcast. This
has been a pleasure.
It's been a blessing. I know I'm all over the place, but it's just a passionate kind of thing because I want people to have hope. And real estate is a gateway to get you on the other side. Start with wholesaling, build up 1 year worth of reserves in your bank account, and then we transition over into your other business. That's how you do it. You got 1 year of reserves.
Steve, you right on time, brother.
No, you ain't all over the place.
You right on time, baby.
You're right where you need to be.
Man, hey.
You never left the ministry.
Thank you.
Steve, man, we want to thank you for coming out and joining us today. I know it was last minute. And you know how we get down, how black folks get down.
It was last minute, too.
So I want to thank you for that. I mean,
I'm eating my Doritos.
This was a great show, man. I appreciate it for all that knowledge, that gain, that transparency, that vulnerability that you put out there for everybody to understand. Because as a community, we want people to be vulnerable. We want people to see different transitions from the couch to the big house. That's what you got to. And you minister that whole way. And God has continued to use you as a vessel in that capacity. He's using all three of us. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring you on the show today, to be able to tell your story, to tell your testimony. Man, you did a great job, man. There's nothing else, man. Tell people where they can find you at on social media so they can go to your school, your platform, get your program, everything else like that.
You guys can request me and follow me at on Facebook. It's going to be my first name, last name, Steve Philostin. Last name is spelled Philostin. Or you can go on Instagram, follow me there. It's at sp.philly. That's my personal Instagram. If you want to follow my fashion brand, that's going to be at SPHILISTINE. That's my fashion company. But either way, just reach out to me. Just send a hi, hello. I'll acknowledge you guys right away. But again, remember, you can do this, and I'll see you on the other side.
Definitely, man. Thank you for joining us for another Translation podcast. I'm your co-host. Like, share, and follow. I'm with my teammate, my light-skinned twin,
Nick Beam.
Hey, y'all, stay solid, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, peace.